Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speedrunning video. So in today's video I'm doing another collaboration video, and I know my last video was also a collaboration video, but this one has actually been in plan for a really long time, but we've only both got round to doing it. So this video is in collaboration with Simply Marie. A few months back, I couldn't even tell you how long it was, Marie messaged me on Instagram and asked if I'd want to be in a collaboration with her, and obviously I said yes. I kind of jumped at the chance, and today I'm actually sharing that video. And like I said, this has actually been a plan for a really long time, but I'm so happy that we can finally just share this build together and just show you all, and hopefully you all like it. So in this video I'm actually going to only be doing the building of the lot and the gardening and the landscaping, and then she is doing all of the furnishing over on her channel. I'll keep a link in the description box down below so you can go and check her channel out, and then you can go and see how it's furnished and stuff, which I think is really cool. I haven't actually seen it yet. She messaged me earlier saying that it's finished, but I just haven't had any time today to actually check it out. I'll be doing that later on after I've done this voiceover, or I might wait to the video just to kind of, I don't know, I feel like that's exciting if I wait for the video. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I haven't actually seen it yet, so I am really excited to see what she's done with it. But moving on and speaking about this build a little bit, so I did actually use a picture of Pinterest to gather some inspiration, and I kind of used it as a reference picture. I do this quite a lot, and I know a lot of other people do as well. Sometimes when you just don't know what you want to build, or you know that you want to build something but you just can't grasp the idea into your head, it's really useful to use Pinterest or just Google in general and just find a picture of a house that you like, and then try and make it in The Sims, or try and take parts of it and then make it in The Sims. So that is what I did for this house, and the picture that I was using, like the reference picture I had this really yellow paneling for the outside, if that makes any sense. So like the exterior painting was all just yellow panels, and I've never done a yellow house before. I don't think I have anyway, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. And my last build was actually a blue Suburban, which I think I did one blue Suburban before my last build. And I don't know, recently it seems like I'm just playing around with all these different colours, and I don't know why, but I thought it was so much fun. It is very bright, to say the least, because it is obviously a whole house just full of yellow paneling all around, but I actually really like it. And I actually use the seasons windows as well, which I like because there's a bit of a contrast between the yellow paneling and the white on the windows. I just absolutely love it, and especially with this really dark roof as well. I just really love this house, so hopefully you guys like it as well. But as you can kind of see, I did do this big wraparound porch around the front of the house, and when I was doing this I was kind of thinking that this probably would fit into Bridgerton Bay quite well. I mean, I know Bridgerton Bay has more kind of curved roofs than this, but I think that it could fit in really well just because of this really large porch. I don't know, let me know what you think. I did also try and experiment with the windows here. As you can kind of see, I tried to use the cats and dogs ones, but I just went back to my all-time favourite, which is the seasons windows. I remember when we got the cats and dogs windows, and I was so happy because we hadn't had a window like that in the game. And then we got seasons, and they're very similar. They've just got the insides, or kind of like the glass bit of the windows, has these little black outer linings, if that makes any sense, like little crosses and squares. I just absolutely love the seasons windows, and they are my favourite. And I tried to experiment and just try and do something different with the cats and dogs ones, but I just feel like the seasons ones just make this house even more attractive from kind of like the street view and the street appeal, and I just absolutely love it. But moving on into the interior of this house, as you can kind of see, I did do the floor plan for this. So I just basically did the structure of the house, the floor plan, the landscaping, the garden, and then I left Simply Marie to do all of the furnishing so she can do whatever she wanted with it. And I actually had quite a lot of struggle with the floor plan because I didn't actually realise this, but when I was actually building the house itself, the house was actually really big, and I didn't know how I was going to make the floor plan just flow well enough. Hopefully you think I did. I think I did okay in the end. I did struggle with it a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And one of the big issues was this really big garage that I had on the side. And so what I actually decided to do is I decided to split it into two. You can't see it obviously from the outside, it just looks like one really big double garage, but only half of that is actually a garage. Obviously I don't know if it's going to be made into a garage, it could be made into a gym, it could be made into whatever, but half of it is actually only accessible from the house, and then the other half of it I sectioned off and I kind of made it into a pool house. Now when I did my luxury modern build, I think it was last week, I did this little pool house in the back garden, and I absolutely loved it. It was my favourite part of the house, and so I tried to do that in this house as well. Just kind of like a nice little place for the family to chill out on a really hot day and watch a few films or do whatever they want. I just wanted like a little pool house, and so I just kind of thought it would be perfect, because otherwise that room would be a really, really big room, and otherwise I didn't really know how to floor plan it and just do the walls and stuff. So I decided to make it half the size and kind of have one half to be whatever Simply Marie wants to make it into, whether it be a bedroom, a gym, an office, whatever she wants, and the other half I did furnish and kind of make it into like a little outer house for the back garden. So there's a TV in there, I believe I put a little bar in there as well. Maybe this household throws a lot of parties, or for the Sims that live in here, they throw a lot of parties, and it's just a really nice place for everyone to kind of go. Maybe it's a really, really hot day and it's too hot to sit in the house, but it's too hot to actually sit outside in the blazing sun, and so you could go in there and you'd kind of still get the breeze. And I don't know, I just really, really like that pool house that I did in that luxury modern house, which I did last week, and I just really wanted to do another one, so I did it in this build as well. But moving on and actually speaking about the landscaping a little bit, so as you can kind of see, I've already started doing the landscaping in this house, and one of the things I noticed when I actually started going in and landscaping was I had this really, really big empty grass area which I'd kind of fenced off. I actually did use the Strangerville fences, by the way. They are some of my favourite fences that we have in the game, and they're my favourite things to kind of do, like little front gardens. I just think they're so cute. But I had this really, really big empty space, and I knew that I couldn't put loads and loads of flowers in that space because it would look way too cluttered. And so what I actually did is I used these base game bushes and these base game flowers, and I actually sized down the bushes and then merged the flowers into the bushes, and I just think this is so beautiful. I have been doing this for quite a while. The first time I actually did this was in my Studio PvP lot, and it's actually quite funny because I had to think about that for a second, because when I actually was doing that build, I didn't actually know it was called. I thought it was the other way around, but that's besides the point. When I was doing that build, I really wanted to make the community lot kind of merge in with the rest of the world, and so what I did is I actually just went around and looked around the rest of the world, and it was actually these base game bushes and these base game flowers that was merged together to kind of separate the like fake roads in Del Sol Valley. And I've been doing it since that, and I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite ways to kind of landscape, just because I think it's so simple but it's so effective. But moving on, talking about landscaping, and actually I want to speak about island living for a little while, because island living is something that I'm really, really excited for. It's the new pack, or the new expansion pack, that's coming out in I believe 2 weeks, around about 2 weeks. I'm not quite sure. It comes out on June 21st, and I'm so excited for it. Today actually is the day, well, I'm actually recording this the day before, so this is going up tomorrow on Wednesday. I'm just doing this voiceover on Tuesday, but today was actually the day when the embargo lifted, and so everyone from EA Play, all the people that went and they recorded content for YouTube, they can kind of release their content and show everyone all the world and all the different lots and the cast items and the build and buy. And I've really been struggling not to go on YouTube and Twitter recently, because ever since that embargo listed, I just feel like I need to close my eyes, because I really don't want to spoil it for myself. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I really like just when you get a new pack and the feeling of seeing all the new items the first time. I just like experiencing it like first hand for myself. I don't really want to, although I do absolutely love watching everyone's build and buy menus, I do really, really love just sitting through it and experiencing it all through myself. And I've been trying really hard all day not to go on YouTube or Twitter, because literally my YouTube and Twitter is just full of just island living content here, there and everywhere, and I really want to look, but then again I don't want to spoil it for myself, because I absolutely love the feeling of when you get a new pack and you don't actually know exactly what's going to be in it, and so you can fully explore it for yourself. But at the same time, watching build and buy overviews on YouTube is one of my favourite kind of videos to watch, so I don't know what to do. I'm saying that I'm not going to watch anything. Hopefully I actually stick by my word and I don't watch any videos, because I don't want to spoil it for myself, but I might end up watching maybe one or two. I feel like I always do this when a new pack comes out. I always say to myself, I'm not going to watch any videos of it. I'm going to save it so I can experience it all myself, and then I just end up saying to myself, oh, I'll just watch the cast video or something like that. I always feel like I do that, but I'm just really, really excited if you can't tell, and I can't wait for when it's actually released and we can all play with it. I already have so many different ideas I want to do for the new world, because obviously I know that it's a tropical world and I've seen parts of it, so I can kind of imagine what the rest of it's going to look like. But I've got so many different ideas that I want to do for the world. I have written them down. I do have like a little notepad which I kind kind of write down different build ideas when I kind of get one, because sometimes I'll get one in the most random places and I need to jot it down, otherwise I'll forget it. But I've got a few which I feel like are just going to stick in my head, and it's probably going to be the first build. Obviously I'm not going to say what it's going to be, but I've kind of got one which I'm really excited to do, and it's something that I've actually wanted to do in the other worlds, but I didn't feel like it would ever be pulled off well enough. But I feel like with this new world, as it is all tropical and beach inspired, that it's definitely going to work. And so I'm just really excited. Hopefully time just stays at this pace and the time goes really quickly. I said this in my last video, but I feel like whenever a new pack is released, the time just goes really slow up until the release date, and then once it's been released and you have it, it just kind of time goes back to normal. I just feel like it goes so slow when you're waiting for a new pack to come out. But anyway, moving on from that and speaking about the build a little bit more, as you can kind of see, I am just finishing up the landscape. And now I did the same thing in the back garden which I did in the front garden, which was then base game little bushes and then base game flowers, and I sized them down and kind of merged them, and I put them around, I believe, 3 of the kind of edges in the garden. I didn't do it around one of the edges because of these little doors which come out of this kind of little summer house thing, which I've actually now moved on to. So when I actually raised the foundation up, I realised that it wasn't going to work as well as I thought it would, and I did actually attempt to do some terrain manipulation in this. You do see me doing it here by the garages, but when I actually first went in and did the foundation height with the little pool house bit, I actually had a big struggle, but I cut it all out because I felt like it was so unnecessary, because I didn't even end up doing that. But basically, when I actually did some terrain manipulation, I tried to just kind of raise the terrain and kind of make it seem a little bit seamless, like what I'm doing here with the garage. I wanted to do that with the pool house, but there was some really weird glitch kind of thing happening, and I don't know what it is. But there was 2 little spots on the grass that was not raising up no matter what I did. I even pushed the whole lot back to see if it made a difference, but it was these 2 little tiles in the lot which everything was going up around it, and it was everything around the area was growing up, but it was just these 2 little spots. It was almost like a glitch kind of thing, and they just wouldn't raise up. And so in the end, what I decided to do was just put a little staircase kind of leading up to that little rounded patio area. I did obviously kind of want to do a sloping thing like I've done here in the garage, but it just wasn't working, and I don't know what it was. I tried all different types of things. I tried deleting the windows, I tried deleting the house, like I said. I tried moving that little garage bit backwards a little bit, and it was still happening. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just a really weird glitch, or maybe it's a glitch on this lot. I haven't actually ever played, or I've never actually built on this lot before, I don't think. This is a 30 by 30 in Newcrest. I had to think about that for a second. I'm so used to saying 30 by 20. This is a 30 by 30 in Newcrest, and I don't believe I've ever done a build on this lot. So maybe it is this lot, I'm not completely sure, but it was just a really weird glitch that was happening. And so in the end, I just decided to do that little rounded deck and then do the little staircase, just kind of a single staircase leading up to this little summer house bit. As you can see, I have now started to furnish this little kind of summer house, pool house kind of thing, and I thought this would be so ideal if maybe some teenagers lived in this house and this could be a club hangout, or maybe just any adults could live in here and this could kind of be like a little club hangout. I think this would be such a cool little room, because sometimes when you create clubs, you're not really sure where you want their hangout spot to be, and normally it just ends up being at their houses. And I feel like if you was to have a sim live in this house and they was in a really active kind of club, then they could all just kind of come in here and chill out. There is this sofa which I use from Get Together, which I absolutely love, but I never really tend to use it that often. And I actually wanted to use it in this swatch because the brown really matches well with the wallpaper, and then it's got these little yellow cushions which I think suited the exterior so perfectly, as the whole exterior is this whole yellow paneling. I also use this little cats and dogs crate which we got with the pack, and it's not actually got any real function or any real need or use. It's just kind of like a little decor object that you can throw into kind of warehouses or whatever. But I decided to use it in here because I kind of felt like it would fit really well, and it kind of matches with the wood colour as well. And I just pretended that was kind of like a little side table, and instead of a kind of normal side table with drawers or whatever, I just felt like it really fitted, especially being kind of like an outdoor outhouse, to be kind of like this little crate with this little lantern on it. I just felt like it worked so well personally. I also did add a little bar area into this little pool house as well, so your Sims can throw parties in here and do whatever they want. I just wanted some other activities other than a TV in here, just because I felt like this could possibly be a place where loads of different Sims come together and they have all different kind of social gatherings, and I thought it would be nice just to have a bar in the house somewhere for your Sims to just grab a couple of drinks and throw a few parties and all that kind of stuff. But moving on, I'm just finishing up the garden now. So I do have this little barbecue area as well, so your Sims can have like family barbecues or summer barbecues, invite all their friends over. I also did use this backyard stuff, little kind of 6-seater table with this really nice bright pastel umbrella, which I absolutely love. It's this stripy pattern and it's one of my favourite patterns that we actually have in the game. I also did add a little flower arranging table in this lot as well. I don't know what Sims are going to live here or what their hobbies are going to be, but I always want there to be extra things for your Sims to do. I also did add a little monkey bar as well. I don't know if there's going to be any children in this house, but I always feel like it's always good to have one in the garden just in case. I also did just go around the lot and add these little romantic garden stuff, little lights in between some of the flower beds just to kind of brighten the house up at night time. I do actually add some little wall lamps as well, so there's kind of like wall outdoor lamps around the main structure of the house, but I still wanted the flower beds to look really nice and bright at night, so I just kind of went around and added them in them kind of little clusters of flowers, which I think is going to be so cute, especially at night time. But I am just finishing this little area as soon as you walk out through the patio doors, which I just wanted to add a few more items just to make the house look a little bit more lived in, so I just added that little bench and also a few little planters, so if your Sims are into gardening they can definitely do that in this house. But anyway guys, I'm going to end this voice over here. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching me build the structure for this little yellow sunny suburban house. Make sure you check out Simply Marie's channel. I'll leave her link in my description box down below, so you can go and check out her channel and all the amazing builds that she does, and then you can also watch how she ended up furnishing this house. But as always, if you do end up liking my content, then please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next Sims 4 speed building video. Bye guys.